hello, boys, and hello, girls, and hello, people who occasionally shove trading cards in their orifices. This is the CounterCast episode 3, maybe. It's a number higher than 2. I can assure you that.
We're getting there. We're getting very close.
Yeah, I've gained a couple extra brain cells, maybe even 3. But I am Mudwire,
I'm Reggie.
and a lot has happened since the last time we decided to perform this train wreck. So
Yeah,
let's
it's been a long time.
let's take a look inside a book and learn how to play Yu-Gi-Oh. So I think we should just get right into it, because since last time we covered a lot of Phantom Rage, but it was before
The
we
TCG.
got before we got over here, and the TCG has been doing this new approach where it's like, all right, everything's a world premiere now, and that's a questionable strategy personally, but whatever. So this new theme that they've got is called Mutants, and it's like 17. Yeah, it's 7. No, wait.
How many
No, there were
cards?
17 world premiere. 14, because three of the TCG exclusives are just random one-offs, but 14 new cards. So it's got enough to have it fully fleshed out as a play style. And it's really interesting in terms of art style and lore, which I always really appreciate about TCG archetypes. I don't think there has been ironically, the closest one I think that's come to being kind of uninteresting is Kaiju's, just because we've had so many big monster throughout the game that it kind of loses its impact after a while.
Yeah, kaijus were like functionally interesting, but not like artistically intense.
Yeah. It's because we had things like Dante, which I don't know which artists do the. Well, I think we know Genzo Man does the Cosmos, but I think they do actually get like Western artists for a lot of these, and it really shows in like the difference in art style, which is really nice to see.
But no, the mutants look really good, like art-wise. I love all of it. Like
Yeah,
the-
it's. Yeah, sorry.
No, carry on.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, it's just stuff like Mist and I think Assault or Arsenal, wasn't it? Yeah, Arsenal is another one that I really like, because it's this very good blend of, like, fucked up but still mechanical, so it's even more fucked up as a result.
Yeah, it looks right, like especially for like a psychic archetype. The one thing that I'm not digging is like, because they're fusions, the artwork is like very sort of purpley red, and it kind of all blends together.
Yeah, I get that, because they themselves are, like, they look like gooey ducks. Those big, like, fucking clams. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, I'm just saying that they look like a slimy thing you'd see at, like, a discount fish harbor.
Steamed clams.
Shut up.
Okay, that's the only one I'm doing, I promise.
You better. I'm not holding you to that promise. Go wild. But the interesting thing about them to me is that they're a very heavily banish focused archetype, but they don't plus off it.
Yeah, it's a bold move, but
That's a very
It
weird
seems-
way of saying stupid, but
well, you can't call it bad. Like it's not been officially put through its paces yet, so there's only time will tell how they'll perform. I've not particularly like play tested them, or because it means I have to read. There's so many words on these cards.
yeah, I mean, as Yu-Gi-Oh players, like, reading is anathema to us, so, you know. But they're kind of doing a slightly similar thing to what Time Thieves try to do, where it's like, okay, we want players to be able to use all 3 of these categories of card: monster, spell, and trap. And to Mutants' credit, their traps are actually, for the most part, pretty good. They've got an easy peasy monster negate, and they've got a trap fusion, which would normally be a death sentence, but they did the right thing and made it so, hey, the thing this fusion summons actually interrupts during the opponent's turn, and it's a decently powerful interrupt too, because it essentially forces your opponent to eat up 2 of their disruptions on 1 disruption of yours.
Okay. No, that sounds pretty good. Like normally they just like go, fusion summon. There you go. Have a boss monster, and sort of leave you twisting to get like like demolished. Your opponent will just play through you, and the dream's over.
Yeah, the biggest problem any fusion deck the biggest hurdle any fusion deck has to overcome is how do we maintain card advantage? Decks like Lunalight will do it by, oh hey, these all interact and like help you fusion ladder ups. So while you might not have the same hand or whatever you had going in, you at least end up with a fat fucking beat stick.
Hey, I thought Lunalight's avoided advantage by just not playing the fusions.
That's true, but we don't like to talk about that. But then you got things like Shaddoll's where it's like, everything generates advantage! And then you've got Predaplants, which don't do this and suck. But yeah, any fusion deck worth its... Sorry?
Yeah, I was just going to keep giving examples, but the point is made, like, you've got to, like, get something out of the monster more than big number and maybe a pop.
Yeah, I mean, like, big number is fine, as Hero can attest you. You can hit Rogue with big number, but you also need to be able to conserve card advantage, which this deck, unfortunately, is not super great at doing. Like, don't get me wrong, Mutant Cry is great because it preserves a lot of your resources and, like, shovels them back to where you can actually make good use of them. But aside from that, there's... But the really interesting thing about this deck to me is that it is one of the few decks out there that can no consequence run Dimension Shifter.
What about Metaphys?
One of the few competent decks that can no consequence run Dimension Shifter.
Okay, you got me there. All the Metaphys players, all two of them went, haha.
It's not the standby phase yet, boys.
You gotta wait. No, I like them. There's some nice things you can do. I'm sure they'll get more in the future. Hopefully, if the TCG decides to support them. If not, the OCG will pick them up and run with them.
Yeah. So I think they've. I like their base concept. I just wish they had a better way of preserving card advantage. Aside from that, there's the 3 new TCG exclusives. And I'd say the imports, but those are all like virtual worlds. For once Konami decided, let's just import these all at once, get it over with.
Yeah, it's surprisingly nice of them.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that later. Yeah, we've got, for the 3 like standalone exclusives, or free agents as they're calling them, we got Jabbing Panda, who is just a Beast Warrior extender.
Fair. Not bad.
Mahama, who is like Gores if Gores suffered Terminal 7. And then we've got Perialis, and the interesting thing about this card is that every copy of that card that I've seen has this weird smell coming off of it. It smells like Gigaplant, but I'm not certain.
Oh man, Gigavise is a deck, and I'm always ready for more Gigavise.
It's
Plant Synchro needed something, and I guess it's better than nothing.
No, I agree. Like, I think Plant Synchro's had a slow but steady kind of gain over the past few years. Like,
but a hell of a lot of losses.
Yeah, I imagine one day Lone Fire is going to be shoved into the mulcher, but just take advantage of that while you can.
Yeah, the one thing I have noticed about Plant Synchro is like there's actually not that many actual Plant Synchro monsters. So like it is a bit of a.
And the ones that are there are like extenders, like the best plants.
Floodgate.
Yeah, the best Plant Synchros I can think. Well, best major Plant Synchros I can think of are Romages, and those kind of suck.
Splendid Rose is alright, I think. Oh no, which one is it? The one that makes you pay life points to summon monsters. It's like Flare Metal on crack.
I don't remember which one that is.
Queen of Thorns.
Oh wait, I think I know. Yeah, because there were a lot of what were they called?
There's only like 6 Plant Synchros. So one's the Black Rose, Black Garden Searcher. Then you got the 2 Uro Mages. Queen of Thorns, Splendid Rose, and the TCG.
That is actually a good floodgate, Queen of Thorns. But yeah, I was thinking of that like you know, a while back they had that kind of series of like fat level 8 like plant girls.
Oh yeah, Rika.
No, the not stupid ones.
Oh god. Oh god. They're all stupid.
Wait a minute.
Wait a
Flowers
minute.
aren't good at fighting. Oh no.
I can't think. Like, I'm looking at Predaplant. You mean the plant princesses?
Yeah.
They're not good.
Does Pump Princess count?
Pump princess. I think she's a zombie.
She's
Yeah.
a plant in my heart.
Yeah, zombie.
Yeah,
and
I think
Draco's
that's
thought, but that's not here nor there.
it's we're not talking about those. Those are forbidden, verboten. But anyways, after that is Big Boy Hours with Blazing Vortex.
This set.
This set makes me feel confused because I think this will have 0 meta impact. Aside from that fucking pot, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, like I feel like that was kind of like it feels like an afterthought, like because like the archetype stuff is kind of a bit sort of not impactful, but it's fun. It's a very fun set.
Yeah, I agree. Like I mean, there is one archetype in particular that I'm gonna have a stern talking to, but I think a lot of the legacy support they made is actually pretty decent. They managed to make a certain deck into a deck and a certain other deck into a deck. And speaking of that deck, armed goddamn dragons. Hell
yeah. Turns out the best way to fix LV monsters is just to throw out the entire mechanic. It's Konami
That's
tried and true tested.
I mean, you can't tell me it doesn't work. This was the last thing I expected, but goddamn do I love it. Imagine unironically making Armed Dragon Catapult Cannon Turbo easier.
Like, they've been pushing for it, and I think this is kind of like the second to last step. There's just one more step, and it'll be there.
It's time for VW retrains, you sons of bitches. But yeah, let's see. Technically, there's like, technically 7. There's like 7 new Armed Dragon monsters, and most of them are pretty decent and kind of play into their own theme, while also kind of being almost like mermails in a sense, where it's like, oh, you discard this guy to activate Dragon Effect, the plus, dude, which is a really nice way of conserving advantage, and also, again, a really good, like you said, a really good update to an outdated concept by just saying, just level them up the same goddamn term. It doesn't matter. You're gonna lose anyways.
But no, I think they've got better effects in general. Like the retrain level 7 and the level 10. Like the new Armed Dragon level 10 is just mad. You wouldn't like play it seriously, but like if you wanted to turbo it out for a fun time, you've got a fun time.
I think the level 10 is probably one of the best ways of making an anime card, where they integrate Manjome Thundas, Chaz Sanders summoning chant into the actual effect text, which is the most batshit insane I've ever seen them do. Yeah, and it's not even that good.
People who don't watch the dub will never understand this. So like 10,000 attack, wow, what?
10,000 attack. That's pretty cringe. Who plays Yu-Gi-Oh anymore? So I've heard some people say that they'll get sucked up into Dragon Link, but every time I've like popped around like the Rocket server, they're like, oh yeah, those things exist, whatever. And they do pay attention to some OCG stuff like Boral End, so I don't really think they're gonna get absorbed into the conglomerate.
I think it costs just a little bit too much. Summoning from the deck is nice, but like when you have to like send a card to the graveyard and discard a card, it starts to add up, and like Dragon Link requires that kind of advantage.
Yeah, I will say though that Tempest actually synergizing with this deck is kind of hilarious. Because you can discard any one of them with Tempest effect to not only search anything else you need, but also plus off their own effects. So it's still an even 0, but you're still getting something good out of it.
Yeah, Tempest is doing pretty alright. Like, he's been chilling, sort of staying out of trouble.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm even more surprised that Blaster is still on the list of all things. I don't know. Because the most
a little bit.
Yeah, the most relevancy I've seen out of Fire recently is Salamangreat, who pops up every now and then, but I don't really know who else would get too much out of this. Maybe D-Link, but I don't even know if they play Tempest. I'd have to check that, but that's a whole other beast.
I don't think they play Tempest.
Yeah.
The weirdest thing about this Armed Dragon stuff is the Paladin.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I saw that card and I assumed it was a create a card, but then I checked into it more. It's like,
oh,
the fuck, this is real?
This is real.
It's.
Yeah, I was like, what's this fucking creator card shit doing in the main channels?
It's so detached from everything else the archetype does, and it's literally just there because, like, whatever. We gave all the other dumbass dragons one. Even Photons had one.
No,
even Cybers have one.
Yeah, I have a soft spot for Paladins.
You could probably make it like a pure Paladin deck at this point. If you really wanted to go balls to the fucking wall.
It's just
I really like... Oh, sorry?
Yeah, I was going to say one final note on the Paladin is like there's not really that many good targets for it anyway, so it's kind of pointless to exist.
Yeah. I will make 2 quick notes about Armed Dragon before we skip on to the next lads. But I really like Armed Dragon White because it's a really fun kind of conclusion to the deck's new, like, big-ass beatdown style that fetches a weird, obscure anime card and actually makes it useful, while also negating the downsides of it if you happen to lose it. So that's really appreciated. And their back row support, I think, is also actually pretty good. Most of it helping Armed Dragon level 10 like reach his potential. Some of it just shitting out a dragon from deck for free, and one of them giving protection, but also letting you snag something back from the graveyard so you can plus.
Yeah, no, it all works. I think it'll be fairly tame. It's there to sort of fill like rare spots on the list. I know they're reprinting the original Armed Dragon, aren't they? Level 10.
They are in Ghost of the Past, but we'll get to that.
Oh yeah, shit, wrong set.
Fucked up!
Yeah, man, for some reason I thought it was going to be in Blazing Vortex.
I feel like they almost might, like, as a Starlight rare, because they've been reprinting a lot of like weird stuff. Yeah, they're a lot of fun. And speaking of a lot of fun, but not super good, Spray Guns.
Oh yeah.
I don't... Bang, bang. I forget how Devil Trigger goes.
No, that was it. You almost had it.
But
I like this guy.
Same. I don't think they're gonna do a whole lot in terms of the meta, but they have a really unique playstyle based on like dodging shit and like blowing up the opponent's field, and it fits really well with their aesthetic too. Like these fucking Mega Man enemies that like crawl out of the desert sandstorms and strike, and the moment you try to do stuff, they just fade back into the sandstorm.
Yeah, like as far as like the lore on this set of new like era of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Rule 5, this is probably like the weakest showing. But I think given time, they should make a bit of a better showing.
Yeah, like I like the aesthetics of them a lot, but I don't think they'll be as relevant as the Dogmatica and Tri Brigade.
I think it's like the Albaz situation where they're just like having more toys for him to fuse with.
Yeah, that's the other
Saturday
weird thing
morning cartoon.
I'm alright with that. These guys are my friends, and they're please. Albaz is a very weird enigma to me, especially with how they keep stapling him to all these other archetypes. Because like things like Dogmatica don't really want him because they can't use his fusion summon effect the turn they search him anyways, I'm pretty sure. No, but well, yeah. If they use Nadir, they can't use this effect anyways. Nadir locks, right? Let me make sure I'm not making an ass of myself.
Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah, I just checked. Nadir locks anyway, so you can't send what was it, Stigmavore or the other asshole? Titaniclad. You can't send Titaniclad and then special summon him and get a fusion steal off that. And your normal summon is better reserved for Alistair anyways.
He's got no place in Dry Brigade.
Yeah, I don't know that was a weird one. And the weirdest one is I don't get why they're trying to staple him to this deck too much. I know this deck only really has a handful of normal summons. Like there's Peed, who you contribute to bring back someone from the graveyard if you need.
One back.
Yeah, which can be good if you've got the level 8 general that allows your guy to do more big stuff in the graveyard. Good. And I really like how they're Konami seems to be paying a lot more attention to how card advantage works recently, I think, and all these guys can equip themselves to the big ship as ammo, essentially, because their field spell cheats out the ship because you're not going to hard summon it. And you can equip them from the graveyard to the ship, too, which is a really neat way of conserving all your other shit. And it is really nice to have a fire machine archetype for the first time in a long-ass time.
Yeah, it is nice just to see something just a little bit different.
Yeah, because we've gotten a shit ton of
past.
Oh my god, Dark Machine, Light Machine, and Earth Machine. Like I think Fire and Water Machine are the least loved. Poor Dynamists.
Never forget Dynamists. Speaking of fire, though, Metal Foes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone thought it would be generic pen support. we had hopes for a little bit.
They expected
those hopes
too
were
much.
soon crushed. Yeah, they expected good cards. But yeah, Vanisher is level 9 fire and
like
has an effect that implies. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say that Vanisher gave Agnamazad the suck.
Yeah, they've kind of like absorbed the True Kings, like lore-wise.
Yeah, it's the thing that depresses me is that in which one is it? In Parametal's Fusion, their new fusion spell, which seems okay, I guess. There's 3 arrows, and one of them is coming from the Metal Foes, and the other 2 are green and blue, which means Krystrons and Zodiacs are probably getting more support soon.
Please. Not like this.
What's the matter? Don't you like Dryden?
Not for the reasons other people do.
Yeah, there's 2 good reasons.
But no, Metal Foes is fine. Like they'll get hopefully they'll get Electromite back. Pendulum will play with it for a bit, and then they'll realise it's just another way of getting to to needle fiber.
Yeah. I would like to get Electromite back, but I have no idea if they're going to do that over here, because they've recently, like, in terms of the ban list, which we'll also get to later, they have shown some inclination towards, hey, let's unban this to, like, sell this more so than usual.
Yeah, time moves on. Like,
yeah, I don't know how well the new Metal Foes are.
I've not particularly like read them too much.
Yeah.
Like, I know the link is pretty much for Metal Foes, and is a fine replacement for Electromite.
Yeah, because it revives itself when you pop it, so you can free up your 2 zones below hand. And we fucking finally have a game original Pendulum Fusion. Also, he sucks ass.
It's okay, so go 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
Yeah, fucking let me relay you something about this motherfucker. Also, Pendulum Ritual when. But let me relay to you something about this motherfucker. He's got a heavy ass summoning condition of a fusion plus a Metal Foes, a really lame on summon only effect, which is a targeting pop that even has a cost. I mean, I guess it can recycle, but I don't know. The Pendulum effect itself
yeah, I think
is okay.
the point is, like, just to put it in your Pendulum zone. then work with it there.
Yeah, but you have to you have to do so much work to get it there in the first place, which is just like, why?
Is it? Can you use it with super poly? Did you say is it any fusion monster?
Yeah, you can use any fusion monster, which is the upside. So if there's like a nasty ass, what the hell is that one Alistair dumbass called? It doesn't matter, Makaba. Then you can just like give him the suck.
Easy, hard counter.
Yeah. Metal Foes Tier 0. That's what the O in Metal Foes is for. Anyways, back to right after Spriguns and decks that I'm very uncertain about. The difference being this one I'm very certain about. Security Force.
Yeah.
It's Security Force is really impressive. It's rare that something managed to be worse than fucking dual avatars.
I didn't think they could do it, but they did, and I'm impressed.
In the span of a set, no less.
They're like
It's really
credit to them. They can make their link pretty good, and that's it.
Yeah. You mentioned that you did testing with them and found them to be like weirdly consistent for some reason, but I think the best way of describing it is like Rada's description of Ojamas. Yeah, they're consistent, but it's like having a lifetime Oj battery that just powers up a single milk cooler.
Well, there's just so much wrong with it.
Let me. This is not a discussion. This is a post-mortem.
Dead on
Fucking
arrival.
column gimmick provides no benefits.
Yeah, it's like shitty mech knights.
Their Stratos is level fucking 5.
I mean, the
got an unironic
the combo is like pretty straightforward. Like you run 3 of the Stratos, 3 of the level 2. The level 2 bounces by banishing the level 5, and then summons the level 6 from deck, which then summons level 5, getting you another search. And from there, I think you have to, if you want the link, you have to add the quick play spell to special summon, and that's it. You've just sat on like a link 3.
I really they did something similar with Magistus, but I hate how they make these cards that have no in archetype, like that have very little in archetype summoning power, and then they give them a card that's like, oh, go -1 to shit one out from your hand. It's like, are you out of your goddamn mind? I like their lore, and their boss monster is really fucking cool. It's like an easy negate plus setup for fuck your monsters to the banish zone with ye. But they're much like mutants, they've got a weird banish focus, but none of them actually work with doing anything banish related. The difference being that mutants are at least competent. This is embarrassing.
Yeah, like the level 4 want you to banish. They want you to banish from your hand to activate the effects. So it's not like banishing from the graveyard to do your things. You have to have it in your hand in order to do anything.
Yeah.
And if you can't hit that level 6 to re-special summon the thing you've just banished, you're not getting it back.
He's called Orifice because he sucks. Moving on.
Fuck. No, the real meat of this set is just the generic miscellaneous random archetypes.
Oh, I was actually going to talk about Fableds and Windwitch real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I'll be lightning fast, don't you worry. But it's nice to see old dual terminal stuff get love and attention, like Fableds did. They've got easier summoning, despite they kind of look like they're hard minus sometimes, but I guess it's all according to Kaikaku. It all seems good for the deck, and it's another deck that kind of solidifies Fiends as the kind of discard type of monsters right behind Waters. Andraith is another one of those simultaneously good and fucking hilarious cards. Hey, idiot, can I draw 2? No? Alright, your monster is mine now. You should give it.
Your monster, give it to me.
I also really like lore field spells because it's always nice to see where these guys live in their stories. And Regicide is a really
Fable
good
the
example of a
house.
trap where it disrupts. Welcome to my old rent controlled apartment. Should have said Ojum apartment. Fuck. I had it.
You
I
had it.
fucking
Dude.
had it.
You had it. You let it go. It's slipping out your fingers as we speak.
It's hard to hold on to Ojamas. They're very slippery. Speaking of Ojamas, real quick, Ojama Pink.
Ojama pink. Ojama stink.
What do we even? Please never say that to me again. What do we even say about this asshole?
It's pretty good. I like it.
He is. No, he's good for the deck because a lot of Ojama stuff nowadays actually likes discarding, meaning that the fucking Dark World Ojama joke is coming true. But it lets you plus and lets you block a zone, so it's just like, yeah, sure, let's invite this abomination into my house. But back to one more of the larger archetype reveals. Wind Witches are finally a fucking deck and not just an engine for Dark Magician. They're based on more
Crystal Wind
proactive
Pass
and
has
responsive
evolved.
burn. Plus. Now it's Dark Requiem Pass!
Oh, baby.
Yeah, it's based on proactive and responsive burn. It's got pops. Seems okay. It's not really fantastic, but it made the deck into a deck, so that's fine. Just not worth it in decks that use it as an engine.
Yeah, you can do something with this now. It's like more than just like an attachment to invoked.
Yeah, I mean,
It's nice.
Tri-Brigade kind of has the same problem, and Tri-Brigade kit kind of does not contribute to the deck. And by deck, I mean engine, so it's not that great.
There's more dual avatar cards. Moving on, Dream Mirror got support.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like 2 of them. Like, we're leaving the dual avatar discussion as that. I don't even remember what it did, and I don't give a shit.
The fusion
But yeah,
bounces and the trap card cycles up and down levels.
Yeah, doesn't the trap card actually fulfill their issue they had, where it's like, oh, I'm out of materials. Goodbye.
Time to lose the game.
What Dream Mirror players say at the beginning of a match.
Hey now, Dream Mirrors have been getting pretty good. Like, they've been getting some good side suck.
Yeah. Did you
No.
say side suck? I wish you did.
So like, they got the counterpart fusion.
Constellar.
And, oh no, you moved on. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Don't like Dream Mirrors.
I don't have a whole lot to say
Fair.
about Dream Mirrors, unfortunately. The most I wrote is that they seem okay, and that's all my notes on them. But speaking of fusions, Eldritch fusion.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
I kind of like it. It's got a fun little steal, good protection, but it's not stupidly overpowered. And Super Pally now has a better spot in the zombie world builds.
Yeah, it's like nowhere near as good as the actual Eldritch himself, but it's nice to see another card that's called Eldritch.
Yeah.
The fusion spell I've heard is not great.
Yeah, I think the problem with it isn't it literally just like, haha, polymerization, but I guess it's searchable. Yeah,
I don't know. Means I'd have to read it. Is it Golden Land?
Yeah, 7 realms of the Golden Land. During your main phase, you can fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck using zombie monsters from your hand or field. So it's just, and the most else it does is it gives you like a lockdown for back row.
If fusion summons any zombie monster, I guess. Well, not even that, any fusion monster. So you don't even have to.
Oh yeah, you can you can summon who's Draco Netherlich or something?
Yeah,
What the hell was that big?
Draco Cetus, Nether Soul
Yeah,
Dragon.
yeah. Captain Super Poly Target. But
What
yeah.
what is my purpose? You're a super poly target. Oh god.
Oh god. There is a Machine Icarus attack now, an incredibly convoluted trap card, a Dogmatica card that no one's gonna play once more,
Yeah.
and Pot of Disparity.
The pot. Another pot.
I hate these cards. I really do, because it's consistency you can't. Sorry.
You can feel the sense of impending dread whenever you see like the artwork.
Yeah, For once, could we get another Pot of Benevolence where just like banish 17 cards from your extra deck, shuffle your hand into the deck, your opponent wins the duel next turn. Can we get another one of those? I'd prefer that.
Banish your entire hand. Fuck you.
You start banishing the cards, your opponent's like, no, your hand.
Just like cuts your hand off. It's a real left arm offering.
Anything to win, baby.
But no, it's good. There's no two ways about it. But at least you have to pick between that and extravagance.
Yeah, I just wish there was more. I wish there was more restraint, because this is like the Appaloosa of this set. Expensive as fuck. Everyone will need it for every deck due to really limited downsides. But speaking of good, let's talk about the absolute unit. Let's talk about the absolute Thunder Chad. Johnny Big Bone himself. White fucking baking.
I don't get the pun, but I appreciate Skull Servant support.
Well, because he's a king, but he's baking.
He's the artwork. He's like in leaves.
He's not roasting leaves. He's like, he's roasting like some sort of meat over leaves. Like he's got skewers with meat. Either that, or he's a skeleton and he doesn't really understand what food is, so he's cooking leaves for passersby.
Hello, young man. Would you like to try some of my famous baked leaves?
Please don't talk to me. He swings at you for 10,000 damage.
I'm just imagining the King of Skull Servants going around taking pot shots at children.
I mean, that's all he's really good at, but no, it's like it's one of them cards that's like it does everything.
Yeah, I mentioned this before, but I love it when Konami is in touch with the weaknesses and needs of a deck. They've been in that way for hires, and they're that way for whites apparently. So that's really fucking good to see.
It's like they've acknowledged the grass ban, and they know we're not getting it back. So they've just made this, which dumps all the cards you need, which then they dump all the cards you need.
It's time for grass 2.
And then 1-2 skidoo, you're back in the bone zone.
I wish I had my piano with me. This'll have to suffice. Doo 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 doo. Alright, moving on.
I'm very happy with this set anyway, like, because Digital Bugs.
Oh yeah, our boy Resist Rider.
Yeah, this thing's crazy. I love it so much.
Soon to be absorbed by the Battle Wasp conglomerate.
To be honest with you, they can have it. It's just that good. Like I'm more than willing to allow like the level manipulation, the position changing for the better or worse.
Do you think this guy will show up in like Inzectors?
I think so. It's a extender. It's like because instead of having to run like I don't know like Kagamucha Knight or some meme shit, you know you can just pluck this guy down and he's insect ready. Because you can make your Pico Felina and keep extending.
Ready to bug.
More important, yeah, just bug out. And the thing is, like, Digital Bugs originally had a lot of trouble getting into their bigger monsters, like the bigger ranks, and this kind of alleviates that.
There are unironically no monsters in the game before this that could hard summon Rhinoceros or whatever.
Yeah, no, it was getting pretty concerning, to say the least. Like even Core Barge, the rank 5, it was really hard to get into.
Yeah, that deck really is a mystery to me, but at least now it's competent. And speaking of competent, Constellar Caduceus.
Yeah, I don't know what it does, but I know it's similar to Registrider, that it kind of just does a lot of things.
Yeah, it can search Constellar's questionable back row, but it can also help you extend, get out like another body on the field, and I think it's more lore because he's got like a snake staff like that one Tellar Knight did. And we got another live twin, which we'll get to that when we cover live twins real quick.
There's that hand trap dragon.
Yeah, that I think that one's kind of like the better way to do a hand trap because it's very restrained for what it does, and it just stops one thing.
Yeah, I think it will still be expensive just by the sheer virtue of what it is.
Oh yeah, I went through this set and I could only really pick out like 3 things that I could definitely pinpoint as being secret rare, and this was one of them. It was just a really, I don't know, it's a really weird situation where there's not enough good for secret rares, but the few things that are good enough for secret rares are gonna, yeah. Man, I sure am glad that we have 10 secret rares per set instead of 8. That's great. Yeah, there's a bunch of other smaller stuff, like there's a new Mahavela, there's a good rank 9 negate, and there's a Unity, which isn't even worth talking about. But yeah, I think that's more or less the big things from the set, if we're good.
Yeah, no, I think that's pretty much the whole of it. Like, there's a lot going on, but like nothing too groundbreaking that isn't called part of disparity.
Yeah. There's a lot of good legacy support, which is a good theme to see, and it's part of the reason why I'm glad they dropped anime support, which just ate up a huge chunk of every set. And while we got lucky during the Vrains era, and where 90% of the anime decks from there were actually turned out to be meta relevant, aside from like 3, 2 of which are only now actually showing up to be pretty decent Code Talkers and Rockets. But there's so much stuff that because it was in the anime for a hyper situation moment, they have to print it to fill crap, and then it's just like, why'd you even bother with this? But it is nice to see the first pen support in a while and just see old stuff get some love again.
Yeah, just some creativity. Yeah, outside of the confines of anime.
Yeah, thinking outside the cocks. But the next thing I want to talk about, Maximum Gold.
Yeah, the bling bling set itself. I don't know what to think about Maximum Gold. The set list just got revealed, didn't it? Or
yeah, like a day or 2 ago.
Confirmed the leaks.
Yeah, I'm amazed that leak that we got so far back was entirely accurate. Around when the ban list came out, people were like, "Wait a minute, this might be true." But I don't like this set.
That's fair.
It's a big ol' reprint set, which seems to be Konambo's new standard for it. It's like, okay, 150 cards of reprints per set, which seems great. You think you get more mileage out of that, but no, they put in a lot of weird chaff, these one-off reprints. Like, they reprint shit like Extra Foolish Burial, Mistaken Accusation, 90% of the fucking Noble Knight reprints, Tuning, Temple of the Six, DD fucking Warrior Lady. These didn't need to be reprinted. They're all cheap and not relevant to anything else. I can't see anything like immediately around that would need them. Where the fuck is my Karakuri Merchant, Konambo? Had it up to here.
Yeah, I don't quite know what their game is. Like with the Foolish Burial Goods thing. Like they've also reprinted Foolish Burial. So I think a lot of it seems to be like consistency. Like they've got extra Foolish Burial Goods and.
But that's the thing that confuses me. The only Six Samurai card they printed in this set was Temple of the Six.
Yes, that's where it all starts to fall apart.
Yeah, it's I mean, there's decent meta reprints, like all the Ghost Girls getting reprinted is nice, Imperm getting reprinted, and being $27 currently as a pre-release is a thing. Eldritch getting reprinted is very nice.
Yeah, that's slashed the price completely.
Yeah, so it's nice. It's also nice to see like not meta decks that were stupid expensive because of the dumbass decision to invent deck build packs. Like Dragon Maids, their prices are going to drop. It seems to spit in the face of upcoming ban lists with stuff like Miscellaneous Oris.
Yeah, it's a lot of baiting and all sorts. But there is like, I think a lot of it is like callbacks to the old premium gold sets.
Yeah, but the old premium gold sets were bad, so they shouldn't do that.
that's up for debate. I wasn't around when. I see good reprints. I see like Machine Dupe, Trade In.
No, I agree with that. Like Machine Dupe was getting up there in terms of price, so it's nice to see
Even
that. And like
weird cards like Gimmick Puppet, Giant Grinder, that was getting really expensive. And
yeah, it's nice to see things like Monarchs and Synchrons, Speedroids, Barrier Statues, and even Caligo Clawcrow get like reprinted because they find their way into newer decks, or because they get stuff off of ban lists, they get weirdly expensive. But again, I wish they'd stop reprinting this dumb stuff like Dimensional Prison and Hey Trunade. I get to some degree that they're probably reprinting the Mirror Forces to grab part of the casual audience. It's like, hey, look at this quote-unquote powerful card, wink. But don't tell me people are flocking to buy Forbidden fucking Chalice.
I don't think so. But at the end of the day, I guess like one thing I've noticed is like a lot of these cards with alt arts are getting the alt art reprinted and the original art reprinted. Which is that going to be good? Will that affect the ratios of the pools?
Maybe. I wish I could tell you. I mean, in the case of Ash Blossom, it would be nice if it meant we got like double stacks of her. But I feel like that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it'll just mean one's more expensive than the other. And they're both expensive.
Yeah. God, it's
awful.
Now I'm just depressed. Alright, speaking of depressing,
well,
Genesis
good
Impact.
Oh god, deck build packs. Why?
Last time we covered this, not everything was out yet, but there are a few last things that we want to cover up for both Drytron and Magistus, and the last revealed theme, Evil Twins, Live Twins. So for Drytron, I think all we had was one ritual.
I think it was a ritual and a spell.
You might be right.
But since it's all coming out, like because of the staggered release, I couldn't tell you which one it is. It might be the one that adds from graveyard to hand.
Maybe, but the issue is that like all the Drytrons already recur themselves from graveyard, so it's not necessarily needed, really.
It's got a banish effect to add 2,000 attack if you want more big number. If your 4,000 attack ritual monster wasn't big enough.
I don't know. I think in most Drytron decks, Eclipse is not going to see a lot of play. Like they generally want to stick to. They've got like good spells. Nova, Meteornus, Fafnir, and Meteor Shower are all fantastic. Although I reckon that some people would be very iffy on Meteor Shower. I think that's just a thing you add if you draw into Fafnir and Nova.
Well, Meteor Shower's generic anyway, so
yeah.
But
it helps that it's searchable by Fafnir.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm glad they got a second ritual, Meteornus QUA, who, again, continues the theme of looking fucking baller, but the issue is that he's unironically outclassed by Odd Eye's Gravity Dragon. Because while this guy destroys all the opponent's back row, Odd Eye's Gravity Dragon bounces it all while also making it so that the opponent can't respond. So if you're going in for the kill, which you generally will be if you're going to summon that, it's usually better to run Gravity Dragon, especially since this stuff is all like really generic for rituals.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't like, because unfortunately they with DRA they got it right first time. They didn't really need another ritual. but
I mean, I wouldn't mind like a smaller ritual for when you're in a tight spot. And I don't think the new guy's bad. I just think he's unfortunately outclassed.
yeah, definitely. Speaking of
Yeah.
outclassed Magistus,
Who the fuck is this asshole Flame Zoroa? That's a fucking Pokemon name. You're not a flame magician. You're an asshole. He's that fucking Order of Ritual. What the fuck was that dumbass ritual guy named? Who was that
legendary
asshole?
Flame Lord.
Yeah, I want his name on the list. His name's on the shit list. I don't like him. Fuck him. But Magistus Flame Zoroa is actually pretty good for the deck.
Yeah, no, it's
'Cause
really
just-
good.
Yeah, because just, equip something from extra deck or just start your plays for free. And you compare it to someone like Endymion and you wonder, what the fuck were you doing? I know you're busy fucking, like, grooming Artemis, but could you please focus on the game plan here? No. I like this archetype for the lore alone. Their game plan is
Yeah,
shitty Cyberdarks, which says a lot.
yeah. I think the link one feels like I don't know what to say. Like
Ripe for abuse.
feels like it. Yeah, but I don't know how.
Just as Endymion planned.
Jesus, Endymion. He's just a kid.
Oh,
Speaking
so
of
was
just-
Vare, but look what happened to her here.
Reverse aging. It's fine. It's totally legal, officer. Speaking of underage girls, evil twins.
Oh no. That was the worst
Gotcha,
possible
gotcha.
segue you could have had. We're not cutting this out. Alright, so the set is out this December. We now know about the evil twins. They're weird and a pain in the ass to search on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro. Because I search
yeah.
evil twin and it doesn't show up because the psychopaths decide to
Fucking
put a...
stupid star.
Yeah. But they're a very odd, I think, control-based deck. Like they've got the live twins, which are all good starters, even though there's 3 of them. But I really like their aesthetic, actually. I know that sounds like, haha, you like the waifu, but no, I think the idea of these kind of, what's the word, VTuber thieves, and actually using the cyber type effectively in a creative way for once is really cool.
Yeah, I didn't get much out of them personally. Like, I tried having a go, and like I did like the little summon from deck, make the link, revive the thing, draw a card, pass, and just got stomped. I'm not a very good player though, so I guess.
It's okay, me too. Like they've got some nice basic consistency boosting. Their extenders, their extender in the form of Lila Treat, who's coming out in Blazing Vortex, is pretty nice, and Live Twin Lila and Live Twin Kill are both good starters. They got a good searcher. But their field spell is absolutely fucking baffling to me, on the same level as the goddamn Salamangrate field spell, where it's just like, you tribute to negate a fucking attack, and then you shuffle it back into... What the fuck is this field spell? What does this have to do with anything?
It's a really bad field spell, and I've played Bug Matrix.
But
Bug Matrix is like the metric for bad field spells.
yeah, it's weird to see a deck with an extra deck lock that has a main deck boss monster. Speaking of, their main deck boss monster is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I quite like it.
Just... Yeah, just... excuse me, sir, I'd like to evenly match you, please.
9 out of 10 times
great,
your
and
opponent
also
will say
will
no, but
most-
you know, it's worth a shot.
Yeah, I mean, you'll also generally end up with her having like 44k attack, which is, you know,
Does being Dark and Fiend affect the Sideburst lock? Or
I don't think they
no,
have a
is it the way
Cyber's
around?
lock,
They
these
lock
guys.
to Fiends, don't they? Or
They-
something.
they've got a fiend lock.
Because
I
they're
think.
the
forget
Lilla
what
tree is a zombie.
Yeah. Yeah, wait, what the hell? Oh, it locks your extra deck, not your main deck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the 2 links lock your extra deck to fiends, which you can still like do something dumb with that. Like I think you could probably like shit out Griffin somehow that way.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't mind.
I think that's more of it for Evil Twins. I don't know what to say about them. They're very bizarre.
Yeah, but you know the drill. There, it's a deck build pack. They're girls.
Yeah.
Rev up those wallets.
Money.
Money.
I still feel like Drytrons are going to be expensive ones just for being a really unique concept and b good.
Yeah,
but
it's super hard to
you
call.
can never tell.
You can point the finger at individual cards and go, yeah, that's the money card. But you don't know.
Generators. Yeah, like Generators and Mathmex were the 2 from Mystic Fighters that both had the best meta impact, especially in terms of Generators, in terms of an engine. But Dragon Maid is the expensive one.
Really makes you think.
So, you know. I don't think thinking is involved with waifus, but thinking of things that clearly had no thought put into them, ice barriers.
Now that's a segue. I was going to say, speaking of wasting your money.
Speaking of waifus, Mirror Master is actually good.
Yeah, no, like it started off really strong. Like it was General Wayne, Mirror Master, and Frost Spirit.
Yeah, fucking Tsuchinoko 2.0 is his name.
He looks
But yeah,
very polite.
a foolish a foolish burial to change level is great. Discard to summon from deck is great. Wayne is close to greatness, but needing the opponent to have a monster is bizarre.
Yeah, it feels like they're coaxing you into trying to play Royal Knight.
Just please play Royal Knight for the love of God!
Like holding your parents hostage.
And my parents are in the ice barrier.
Sorry, carry on.
There's a numbing grub in my parents.
Fuck. Oh, dear.
And
Excuse me.
Real quick. No, it's okay. I forgive you this time. Before we get off track, the V-Jump promo attendant of the ice barrier fucking sucks.
Does it? I've like
Because
special summon one. Oh, it's from the hand. Oh, yeah, no, yeah, that's shit.
yeah, it's would it really be that broken to let you summon from deck for a tribute?
Like,
'Cause, I mean,
it's not even like an aqua, so you can't even target like one of the level 4, like a level 4 aqua monster and make Toad.
Yeah, it's you have to summon 5 or higher is the thing. Like, and your options for that are Royal Knight, Wayne, Daisojo, Raiho, Medium, Gantala, and Grunard. But out of all those, the only 2 that I can see being abused is maybe Medium and Raiho.
I think Grunard is pretty underappreciated. Like that.
Well, he's not bad. I'm just saying abused outside of ice barriers.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
barely be abused in ice barriers.
Like, I think they could have just like put an ice barrier lock on the card, because if that'd be fine because they finally got good options. But I don't know. What makes it suck even more is that it's graveyard effect. You can't even activate it the turn you send it. So it's just like, why bother? But yeah, what was that? What was their spell card? Their spell card was when the feeling of oh no began to set in. Like the calm after the ice barrier storm. This card is fantastic in terms of lore, but it's really questionable in terms of its actual effect.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of like resetting your board, but at the same time,
yeah,
to do that you need to have a board established.
Yeah, I wish I let you special summon level 4 or lower ice barriers +1 with different names from your deck, because then it would still be a 2-card combo, so it would be too inefficient to run as an engine in other decks, yeah?
Yeah.
The Banish effect is great, though, and synergizes really... Oh, sorry?
I think I feel like it has something to do with the clear wall. Like, so you have your 3 ice barriers on board for the clear wall, then you just tribute them off for bigger monsters. I don't know. I can't.
You can only
put my
summon
head
level
around
4 or lower
what
ones,
this thing
though.
actually supposed to do, other than add ice barriers back to your hand.
I mean, the problem is that you can't summon level 5 or higher ones with it. So you can't even get out the hard to get out ones.
I suppose you're supposed to use it to make Trish.
Mirror Master does that fine already. We don't say these sinful things. But speaking of Clearwall's pretty great. Free Monster Reborn, and also, yeah.
Yeah, no, I like it.
I think the most questionable card though is Pulse of Trishula, because it's unsearchable. It needs you to control multiple ice barrier synchros, which isn't easy for ice barriers. They can get out 1 at most nowadays. It's just really questionable.
Yeah, this is one of those weird cards you build a deck around, and you don't play ice barriers in that deck.
You could have left out the second part of that sentence and been right. You could have left that "don't play ice barriers" and we would have been in the same spot.
Don't play ice barriers.
Yeah, but real quick, for the last new cards, fucking Sub-Zero Dragon. Holy shit.
It's really good.
It's triple non-targeting fucking banishing. We've come such a long way since Ignister. And it even shits out like a free beater for free, negates all your opponent's effects, 30 half attack. Look at this motherfucker. She is primed and ready for ass ripping.
The problem I find is going to be the level requirement. Because like Trish was already a bit awkward to summon with the 1 tuner and 2 non-tuners. This has the same requirements, but it's level 11.
Yeah, like I think the good news is that, let's see, Mirror Master plus Wayne plus just flat out, where the hell is that asshole? Yeah, plus Frost Spirit. Frost Spirit can send a level 2 tuner, and those 3 together make Sub-Zero, which is like a 2-card combo going second, which isn't too bad.
Yeah, it could work. It'll be a good boss monster for him. It gets the job done.
Yeah.
The synchros have always been sort of wasted on the main deck.
Yeah. But the last thing I want to talk about for Ice Barriers is the reprints.
Yeah, like this was fully expected to. It was fully expected for this set to go under the radar until they printed Crossout Designator in the.
Yeah, so it's like the problem with Crossout Designator is that they're definitely not going to give a card that impactful to us in a structure deck of all things, especially brand fucking new. Yeah, especially brand fucking new. They're not going to give it to us as a common, and whatever they're going to replace it with will either be infinitely worse or Called by the Grave, which would be better were it not for the fact that it was now limited because they want to sell product. No, it's just a smack in the face seeing that card in there, since we know we're not going to get it. They've taken out cards of worse structure decks for less, evenly matched from the Charmers, for example.
Yeah, it smacks of pettiness. Because the bullet train from Machina, that one still irks me to no end.
Yeah, it's. I really do not like their. I don't like their import strategies for over here. It's just obnoxious.
Yeah.
But speaking of things that are infuriating, Selection 10 and Ghosts of the Past.
Oh, you got beef with this one. You have a lot of beef with this one.
I don't just have a beef. I have a whole goddamn barbecue, motherfucker.
Remember when I said? I think it was the last podcast when I said they might not import this set into the TCG, the Dragoonity structure deck.
I have never hated you being right more than that moment of time. Just
You hate to see it.
imagine you've got two shitty structure decks. You can sandwich a good one in between them, but you don't want to. You're Kevin Stewart. You're smarter than that. Just
split
Let me
it
start
up
by
and
talking
sell
about-
it. Sell it back to you.
I fucking hate this trend, but they're doing it so soon after the fucking Fire Warrior one too. That's the infuriating thing.
Yeah.
Right. But so we're gonna kind of talk about Selection 10 and Ghost of the Past, the same thing, because Ghost of the Past is gonna import the entirety of Selection 10, which is nice to see that they're doing this so fast for once. The new Shaddolls seem pretty nice, but it's questionable if we needed them.
Yeah, I think it's more or less sort of like flirting with like the same thing the structure deck did, which was like say like, oh, the Shadows got to like the other dual terminal archetypes, but the Earth Machine one's pretty good. Like it plays into the Shadow train strategy.
Yeah, the downside is that I think because if you use Shadow Fusion and you send something to the graveyard, that activates on a separate chain, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it should, because it sends for grave. So you do kind of have to hope that they're not using anything with an on-summon effect like Alistair, otherwise Genius might go to waste. But I do love that lore of knowing what the hell was in Cleafort Genius.
Yeah, it was always a bit of a mystery, like when you see like him sort of poking out.
Yeah. Who's that man under there? And I know people probably don't care for him.
Apparently,
I still don't get what the hell you mean, but
neither do I. That's what I keep hearing.
Is it just because Oryx fucking said I'd swipe right on you on Tinder?
I did not watch Reigns.
Wait, was this like-
I'm gonna preface.
Neither did I, but I just know that one clip. They unironically made a fucking Tinder reference in a Yu-Gi-Oh dub.
Oh, disgusting.
this is a society.
Bottom text. Sun Avalons will seem
The bottom
fine.
here is Oi.
They've got plant support. The art is a bit
I mean,
weak.
this.
What is like two of their links is literally the same tree, but one's bigger.
Yeah, like I'll give them this much. I like the idea going behind it, and I kind of like the lore going on behind it. Like, oh, it's this ancient sacred tree that's when threatened will call forth protectors to like defend the land. I think that's really neat. And it gives me some heavy Kid Icarus vibes too. But I think as a deck, it's exceptionally bad. It's the only neat trick they've got is a fake ass like Harpy Featherstorm. It just
That's
negates
fair.
everything with a trap.
I'm definitely a sucker for any deck that revolves around a normal monster.
No, that's fair.
So
myself
that like
a
as long
partial
as
to that.
hopefully they're not too expensive. Like sort of the same
I
as
doubt
the
they
same
will
as the appliances, where it's just like
I really wish appliances had more main deck monsters, but I do love those lads. But I think Sun Avalons highlight why I'm glad anime cards aren't in sets anymore. Because you can do whatever you need to them, but they will still be the same cards that people who are in a world where they need to write an entertaining duel instead of a realistic one. And those two do not always intermingle. Unless you're really smart about what you print.
that's a fair assessment. I think you are right.
Yeah, I like the Laval stuff. The Laval stuff is pretty nice. The
It's
synchro
promising.
seems a bit weird to me. I'm glad that they got like
an extra.
a free extra normal summon and stuff.
Yeah, I think they just need like a spell searcher or something that just searches like anything that says
What the hell is?
it's molten conduction field. The double foolish
Thank
burial.
you. Yes. Yeah, molten conduction field is really fucking good.
Because I scroll through all the larval cards and there's like 7 cards that like don't even have the word larval in them, but they work with larvals.
Yeah, they did this a lot back in the day for some bizarre reason.
Yeah, this is a dual terminal thing, I imagine.
Yeah, it's just retroactively become a huge pain in the ass.
And it's not like I want to play Prominence Molten Swordsman, but you know, just give me the option, dude.
Yeah, but this next one is not an assessment, by the way. This next one is a rant. Let me talk to you about a little thing called ciphers.
Oh boy.
Ciphers are interesting for being the world's first mistake made into cards, because they were brought about in Arc 5, whatever the fuck it's called, where a bunch of old characters got new cards. Jack got a shit ton of Red Dragon Arcfiend evolutions and stuff like that, which are pretty decent. We got a bunch of really good Ancient Gear support. We got Cyber Angels, which were their own thing, but they were kind of interesting for what they are. And we got new Destiny Heroes, which all suck, but they were at least Destiny Heroes, and some of them are useful. And then we got Ciphers. We got Ciphers for Kaito, who was a Photon Galaxy user, but they decided not to give him Ciphers. Now, I don't know why they did this. Spite is possibly the best reason for it, but Ciphers are exceptionally bad because their major playmaker locks you into Ciphers, of which they have very little that can actually do anything worthwhile. They've got like 4 boss monsters for their extra deck, but it's an infuriating deck to look at in the...
Yeah. I have tried building ciphers, and they don't, like, the thing is, because they don't mess with the Galaxy kit, there's nothing you can do to make them work.
They don't, and the worst part is that Photon Galaxies, they're very close to being good. They have a lot of extenders, they've got fantastic extra deck options, and the issue is that one of their best cards locks them to Photon Galaxies, which wouldn't be a problem with Ciphers if it weren't for the fact that Ciphers are not Photon's Galaxies, and Ciphers do nothing to promote anything about the Photon playstyle aside from making a rank 8, but only one of their monsters actually turns them from level 4 to level 8. And even then, they've got one level 1 monster too for some bizarre reason. And this new dipshit, after Photons... This is right after Photons lost the poll, by the way, for the created card. This new asshole, Galaxy Eyes Cypher X-Dragon, is a rank 10 for some reason, who you can rank up by using specifically a Cypher Dragon monster as material. It has targeting protection that you have to detach to for, manually activate, and it's not a quick effect,
So just use Starliege Photon Blast, who automatically gives blanket protection to all your fucking galaxies and photons. And this asshole, the only thing he does is during your next standby, not the next standby phase, your next standby phase. You have to hope this dumbass survives an entire turn. You return a rank 9 or lower Dragon Ixies monster from your graveyard to the extra deck, so you have to presume that you're already getting your ass beat to use this dipshit. Just... I hate this card.
Yeah,
Galaxies have a full extra deck as is. Sorry?
Yeah, the waiting aspect of it is probably the biggest thing that hurts about it.
Yeah, Galaxy Photons already have a very full extra deck as is. And part of the reason why it's so full is because most of their options are actually really fucking solid. This asshole does not do anything good for the deck or anything helpful. He's just a greedy fat moron and I hate him. Just... Please.
Hey, look on the
Take this guy out behind a shed.
They've got more cards coming.
Here.
Could be better.
the most infuriating thing about this card. I'm not done yet, motherfucker. The most infuriating thing about this card is that people will look at this card and say, "Oh yeah, Galaxy Eyes get support all the time. Look, they just got one." That is not a Galaxy Eyes card. That is a tragedy.
Baited.
But here's
To be fair,
here's the most
first
insulting
thing I
fucking
said when
thing.
I saw it.
And that's why I'm coming for you next. But here's the most insulting part. Not in the next set, not in a side set. In this very same set, they released a rank 8 for Hieratics. That does exactly what this one does, but a million times better. I have never been so offended in my life.
They wanted to make a statement, I think, and they've made it.
Yeah, and that statement
Heretics
was
pretty
"fuck
good.
you."
I like Heretics.
Yeah,
Fuck you, play Heretics.
I actually I am glad they got a good new card, because I think Hieratic Heavenly Dragon is pretty good. Free targeting protection for your cards pretty much everywhere except your hand. Free anti-target is really good. But Hieratic Seal of Creation baffles me, because I think this card would be good if its effects were reversed, where it's like, oh, you can activate this card to special summon a Hieratic from a graveyard in defense position, and then banish this card from your graveyard to rank up or rank down a Hieratic Xyz monster or you control. But they did it the other way around, which makes it infinitely less usable.
Yeah, I've only just like properly read it. I was like, I know it does the rank up, rank down, but I didn't realise it special summoned from graveyard. Yeah, that's a shame.
I think it was really close to being good, but it's I don't know. It just kind of missed the mark a little bit.
It's still early days. Like, there still should be more cards to come.
Oh no, the remainder cards are all the game original theme.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, and that's the thing that, I mean, this kind of sums up my thoughts on the set, but the thing I hate about this set is that because they decided to both include a game original theme and fucking Sun Avalons, we are getting way less value for each archetype that's in it, meaning that a lot of these decks, which might already struggle, Photons, are just going to be much worse off than they started. Well, not much worse off, but still. I know Nekraw's got a Monster Negate and a Foolish Burial, but I don't know if that's good for them or not. I have no idea.
No, I'm not a Necros player. Time Thief, though. I think that's like the last piece of their sort of puzzle in terms of like building an end board.
I think he's pretty good. Like I think it should be possible to set him and the counter trap up turn 1 easy enough. I guess my question is just, I might have to look through how to play them again, but my question is just, how are you going to get the trap onto him consistently enough?
Shade Brigandine, that's like the only way you can do it, really. That and
maybe I think
the trap fly.
I think
fly
Perpetua.
back. Fly back and start up. Both have banish effects to attach materials.
Yeah. I guess I think one of those needs you to already have a lot of setup in the graveyard, though. I forget if Perpetua. I think Perpetua equips stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. It's during both standby phases.
Oh yeah, no. So yeah, as long as you can make 2 rank 4s, which really shouldn't be too hard in Time Thieves, I think you can actually. Yeah, I think you should be able to make a half decent end board of at least a Monster Negate and a back row negate.
You're gonna want all 3 of these on board.
Yeah, that's. I think that's not bad for a TCG exclusive deck. What the fuck are fairy tales?
Things that make me miserable.
You have this weird pseudo pot of duality effect on normal summon that, if it's attacked, you have the option to make it Sudoku. They've got an unsearchable extra normal summon. What crazy person put this in my pack?
Joke's
They've
on you,
got-
Konami.
they've-
I'm not doing that.
They've got like a bootleg Ghost Trick thing going on with this continuous spell.
That is really mean of you to say about Ghost Tricks.
But no, yeah. Other than the weird sort of fairy tale thing, like Luna's pretty good, being able to search anything with 1850 attack, and I think it all just sort of slots into the Charmers, which is kind of
Yeah.
what they want. But I'm not gonna do it. You can't make me do it.
I'm just gonna choose not to. Also, apparently, we might be getting vampires because Yami Kojima lives on in our hearts. Man, there's a bullshit
Amen.
game original. I really hope it's.
Vampires
I
are
really
good.
hope the game yeah, vampire.
Yeah, sorry, go.
Sorry.
Vampire.
I was gonna say I hope the game original is Seiyeryu, so no one can use prohibition on it. Can't call
I
its
hope-
name if you can't pronounce it, motherfuckers.
I think I had the opposite opinion. I was like, I hope it's not CLU because I hate Yogi Boomers.
I'm being like half ironic.
Oh,
I-
fair.
I kind of wouldn't mind if it's Seiyuryu because I'm a little bit of a Yugi boomer. I'd like to unironically see stuff like a Dark Blade plus Yami Makai archetype at some point.
Like
Um,
Thunder Dragon has just soured me to old cards getting retrained.
Yeah, Dragoon is a bit much.
Oh,
Um,
before we do move on, I do have a bone to pick with Ghosts of the Past.
Yes.
More Ghost Rares. AKA,
My problem is that that's going to be the only rarity they're in.
yeah, and therefore they'll be very expensive. In particular, Blue Eyes Alternative.
The first time they reprint this motherfucker, and it says the most obnoxious rarity to obtain.
I hate it.
Just
I hate it so much. Like, they gatekeep Blue Eyes so hard.
I know, it's just for fuck's sake, just give me my bingo machine.
Oh,
And speaking of ghosts in the past, here was a nail in the fucking coffin for me. They specifically mentioned Dragunity support being brought over, and I know they're not talking about that one-off V-jump fucking card. So
it's
this is the
whole
nail in the
structure deck.
coffin. This is a nail in the coffin where we know that this is where these assholes are going to show up, and Remus will end up being $35 fucking dollars. They'll all end up being absurdly expensive for what they are, because what the hell was Toon Chaos at? Wasn't Toon Chaos pretty fucking stupid?
Toon Chaos has calmed down a bit. Gear Freeds are pretty cheap now. They were like 30, 40 quid, but now they're like a tenner.
Yeah, I got that. Oh god, Infernoble Knight Renowned is like $15. Yeah, Gearfried's not as bad, but still, it's really infuriating to see them just cutting these decks apart and selling them back to us piecemeal, because it also denies us of a really good reprints. Like, we were gonna get even cheaper World Legacy Guard Dragon and Starlight Safer, but no. You can all go fuck yourselves. Pay us more money. It's just a strategy I really don't like. The most good I'll say about Ghosts of the Past right now is there will probably be some decent reprints, which you can only buy like there should be some decent reprints like Armed Dragon level 10, and I like the idea that they're actually reprinting stuff that's relevant to decks instead of crap no one asked for, like Galaxy Worm, which
Yeah.
kind of it kind of follows Maximum Gold's example. It's a decent idea, but it will be hard to pull anything good anymore because of how huge the set is and how full of chaff it is. Buy singles.
Just buy singles.
Yeah. There is no meme. Buy singles.
Speaking of buying singles, Egyptian God box,
Egyptian God box. Egyptian God box.
aka
Yeah, let's-
look ma, I printed Ra's Disciple again.
How many times are we at right now? 3, 4.
Three in a space of like a year.
Oh god. Let's
That's
get the
much
worst
warmer.
one out of the way. Golden Idol. I think Golden Idol is okay. he's like a card for like pure relinquished fusion decks, which I do run, so I have some experience with it. But it's just it's outclassed in most actual relinquished decks by Illusionist, who's like a quick effect discard for a steal. The reveal the opponent's hand to change its name is cute.
This one's more in line, like for the banish, because if you banish it with relinquish fusion, there's something Millennium
Well,
Eyes.
it just gives the opponent suck if you do that, and their fusion spell already does that anyways.
It's just more ways of just absorbing monsters. It's okay. I like it. The art's pretty good, and I think it gives more opportunities to reprint the legendary decks, like the LED2 stuff.
Like
Millennium
and
Eyes.
stuff. I just wish it did like some like searching for the deck, because that would help a lot. Like it's the reveal to change its name to Thousand Eyes Idol is cute, but honestly, just run Dark Hex Sealed Fusion. That has way more utility than this card does.
Yeah, you could argue things like Fusion Parasite and Hex Sealed Fusion.
Yeah, but
I don't know, I've
onto
not
the
played
better stuff.
Relinquished in quite some time.
It's okay, no one has. But onto the better stuff. Fuck your board. Your monsters belong to God now.
Yeah, that's Stormforth has come back in a big fashion.
I know it's got some heavy restrictions on it, but I mean, goddamn.
Because when you drop
It's
Obelisk, you know, just on the field on your opponent's turn, stealing all of their monsters, you don't need to activate any more effects.
What are you gonna do? Target me?
The new Nibiru is here.
And
Although-
he's blue. Niblulu.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't call this a replacement for Nibiru. Like, because you still have to draw a god card.
Yeah,
And-
but I like it a lot.
Yeah, no, it's good fun. I think we're slowly getting there. I think the problem with Slifer and Obelisk is that they're just nowhere near as searchable as Ra.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, Ra's searching is a bit crappy, to be honest. But
Ancient Chan is
these
really
two
good,
could
dude.
really do. No, not Ancient Chan. I'm sorry. I was talking about the Guardian Slime.
No, I like Guardian Slime because you can discard it. Well, there is an effect to
fair.
discard it, but I can't remember what it was.
But I love the two new attack cards, one of which is literally just, here comes the giant fist! And the other one is just, it's time to Ploose.
Yeah, that's nuts. The Thunder Force is just outstanding.
You pop their entire field, and now you've probably, with any good luck, got an 8k Slifer on the field. So, you know, have fun with that.
But yeah,
But I think
there's obviously
that's it for the good.
yeah, pretty much more to come. They still won't reprint Sphere Mode, so lol.
Yeah, I don't know if that's it for Godbox, or if these are just 4 promos like for us with the recent tins or not.
We'll see. We'll see. There's definitely more to come. I think surely they won't just like sit on like 4 cards.
Yeah, maybe. I really have no idea what their plans are for this, and I'm too lazy to look it up. But next is the ban list, and we're definitely late to the discussion on this. But the maximum
Yeah, there was just
Gold League
so many new
predicted the ban
cards to
list.
chew through.
Yeah, just the huge ban list. It's a big ass ban list after the really disappointing one way back in like March or something, where it's like, haha, Altergeists, be free. Yeah, Maximum Gold predicted this. We got Rusty Venture back. That's I think the biggest one on this whole thing. I really think the only bullshit hit on the list was Called by the Grave, because they're very clearly doing it to sell product.
Yeah, it reeks of Pancratops hit.
Yeah, it's.
But like at the same time, good things have come out of it, like Feather Duster back.
Yeah.
Culling Tuners and Block Dragon was necessary. As much as I hate to see Block Dragon die.
The thing that annoys me is that Researcher is still $25 fucking a pop. It's like, the deck's dead. Just let me buy it.
Yeah, they didn't even like reprint Researcher in Maximum Gold, so wasted
No, that's-
opportunity.
I really don't know why. It's you have all these terrible choices, and you choose to pick those over the good choices. But yeah, rip Jet Synchron and O-Lion, the only things making their decks playable.
Yeah,
I've tried to
Mecha
think-
Phantom Beasts is now absolutely dead.
Yeah, to add insult to injury, they're reprinting Mecha Phantom Beast shit in Maximum Gold. It's like,
Thanks, dickheads.
Pretending we won't notice.
it's okay, they're Mecha Phantom Beasts, no one noticed.
no one cares. Yeah, like I can see Aurorodon getting banned as well, like further cementing that Mecha Phantom Beasts are the most like cooked archetype.
Needle Fiber stamps in, slaps O-Lion's ass. What do?
Get my tuners banned.
First, we ban all the tuners. But mate, here's the biggest boy for me.
Pen the best deck.
Yeah,
Double fucking Iris.
back to one. It's nice to see. Like Pendulum's really needed something.
Yeah, they've been the frequent victims of a lot of unnecessary hits, and I am well aware that pendulums have kind of a nasty reputation in the community because people seem to see them as either, oh, they're broken, or, oh, they're terrible. And the problem is a lot more are going to fall on the terrible side now because they've made the mechanic, they've neutered it, essentially. Decks like Ignite and Amorphage can literally no longer function as they were supposed to because of all the, like, anal devastation unleashed upon them.
Yeah, being the only ones that came out of Master Rule 5, like, still, like, restricted was just a massive penalty, which was a little bit unfair, I think.
Yeah, it's... I really don't think, especially with the state of the ban list, I don't think things like Endymion or Pendmag are really going to be a threat. Especially not Dynamists, but Dynamists
Well,
are
especially
fortunate
with God,
enough that...
like, Dragon Link running around doing everything it does. It's just
Yeah, and it's like... It's just like... It's weird to see things like Dynamist pop back up, not into the meta, but just not dead because they were weirdly future-proofed for this.
well, future-proofed, and the fact that, like, somehow they just synergize really well with Mystic Mine.
Yeah, it's one of those cards that they kind of have to use because they don't have a lot of other options because, you know, pendulums. But yeah, like aside from that, on the ban list, they've been unleashing a lot of stuff. Like, they gave Mikira brain damage and then let him free. For some godforsaken reason, Widow Anchor is allowed back. Burning Abyss is back to shill. So is Tour Guide.
Gishki. Gus Kraken got freed.
She should not be freed, but I'm glad she is.
I think the deck's shown
Why?
its age, and especially when Mermail can do pretty much the exact same thing and play through negates. I think it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Not saying it should be allowed, but
I'll still say though, I am mad that the moment the ban list hit, I ordered 2 of them. They both got lost in the fucking mail.
ooh,
I've never been more mad at... You know what? Something else like this also happened the last time I ordered fucking Gishki cards.
cursed,
Just why?
just cursed Gishkis. Other than that, Pantheism 3 has been pretty good. I'm enjoying Pantheism 3, as
Dude,
God intended.
I am so glad that I bought those before this ban list came out, because I always had a feeling in the back of my head, it's like, you know, they could probably just, you know, set this free at any time, because Monarchs aren't going to do anything. And I made that gamble a while back, picked up 2 for 50 cents each. Bam. Here we are. Oh, and out of all the Monarch stuff they reprinted in Maximum Gold, Pantheism is not one of them.
Surprise, surprise. First Monarch though, reprint.
Bicycles.
Just bicycles. How many times?
Until Konami learns their fucking lesson.
The beatings will continue.
The beatings will continue until ABC is free.
Yeah, they're really sort of drip feeding Dragon Buster and Toad back.
Yeah, I don't blame them
still
for doing
fit.
that. It's a wise move. But it is nice to kind of see. I think ABC at 2 is comfortable. It would be nice to have them at 3, but at 2 is comfortable. Especially with the weird ass Ojama build I've got. But I think after that, here's the big thing in recent news. Create a card tourney.
Yeah, that's finally coming to an end.
Yeah, and so Inzectors ultimately won, which good for them. They deserved something because they have not aged the best.
It's been a long time since Pico Felena, and that wasn't exactly...
Yeah, it didn't really fix their consistency issues. It's not a starter, it's more of an extender. But I am glad that someone who actually needed it fucking won. And not A, people who would waste it like Valkyries, or B, fucking mermaids.
Or weather.
I wouldn't mind Weather winning too much, but I also find them very lame.
Yeah, people just want that, like, they want the red weather, and that's all they want. So it would have been wasted on, like, some garbage-ass effect monster.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Players only want one thing, and it's disgusting.
It's absolutely disgusting.
But yeah, the last few polls they did were to determine if it was a monster or
Spell trap.
a spell or trap, and overwhelmingly spell trap won.
Yeah, it
But
made it all
the
way
interesting
through
thing
the
about yeah, was it like 90% or something?
Yeah, I was surprised it wasn't hijacked, but I think since everyone's like since the results been announced, like anyone that was like voting for not Inzectors has sort of lost interest.
Possibly. Like I think the thing that really outed how many troll votes there are was spell versus trap, because no one in their sane mind would vote for trap, because that is not what Inzectors need. But the concerning thing is that there were still like 17% trying to actively fuck over Inzectors, and it's like, can we not do this? Can we not waste the past 3 months of our lives, please?
Yeah. What's the deal with the distribution of this card? Like, we're not actually making the card. We're just
No,
getting it as like a random. Like, we have no bearing.
Did we even get the results of the?
Uh,
Actually, I think the poll should be out at the end of this week. Maybe. I don't know.
the results
But
on
yeah,
that. We'll have it in post.
Yeah, we'll edit out everything we've said in post. There'll be 2 hours of ocean noises. But yeah, I hope they get something like in a Nonomata where it's just discard 1 to add 2. Because I think that would be pretty decent for it. And the other thing, possibly the last thing they had us vote on, is what product it will be released in, which is really weird. And our 3 choices were as a gift, which like maximum gold. I don't know if that means if we'll be guaranteed to get it or if it'll just be thrown in there with all the other crap. And a main set, which no one would fucking want. Or in a side set like Genesis Impactors, which would be really good because it means they could reprint everything, and we would have all their crap right there, ready to build a deck. We get a bunch of good reprints of some of their more expensive stuff like Hornet, Zexal, Mantis, and we got everything in a nice, neat little package.
So side sets the way to go. I'm not particularly sure.
Personally, yeah.
I don't know.
I'm very
But,
biased
like,
on this
all-
matter
it
because
seems
like
it seems
getting
like
it
a
in a
trick
main.
question. Because either way, if it was like they're just gonna like slap you in the face and go pranked, it doesn't matter, the card shit.
That please don't let that be the result of this. I'd really prefer for the last 3 months to not be a waste of everyone's time. Anyways, 2 last things I want to get off the docket here. Docket and cocket is Lost Arts.
This one's all you. I don't. think much about.
Why the fuck is Dark Magician Girl's art so hard to get?
Collection.
They said it would be available on 9/11, but it was
I don't
available
buy much
beforehand
from
and got
ATS.
sold out. This is my 9/11.
All right, moving on. Duel Links.
Xy's World. It's been a long time coming.
They're here.
They're finally here.
It's
The nightmare that is D-Sod World is finally over.
They're finally here and performing for you. I'll summon this monster, Twin Long Rods 2. But yeah, it started off really slow with just 3 characters who mostly suck with 1 or 2 okay rewards, like Skybridge from Tori. I like how they gave Tori voice lines for agents because her actual Japanese voice actor played the deck, which is really fucking cool. I mean, I wish they had lines for Uranus and I think Earth. So, like, some of them are missing voice lines for some weird reason.
I don't think they'd allow
I
a character to say Uranus on.
We'll just pronounce it Uranus. Yeah, I mean, that still sounds like urine, but I mean, it's at least different and therefore better.
Context is key, I guess. But no, I like Xy's World. It just makes auto duel like so much better. Being able to just like dump a bunch of level 4s on the board and go crazy.
Hey kids, remember Cowboy for Game?
He's back.
Again.
Before we Oh god damn it. It took him like serious topic, like why did it take him so long to actually like put out a Zexal event? At the release
I
of
guess they
Zexal?
really want to keep this train going because now they've only got like Arc 5 and Vrains left.
Yeah, but like they keep missing out characters. Like there's even a lot of like GX characters that are just straight up missing.
Yeah, I mean, we only recently got Axel Brody, and here's the issue. His voice... First of all, his voice does not sound anything like I expected him to. He sounds... Everyone else in GX sounds like slightly cartoony, at least. This guy just sounds fucking normal. And that weirds me out, because in a sea of weirdos, if you are the one normal guy, you're the weirdo. But the thing that concerns me about his voice lines is that... he doesn't have any new voice lines. And you know what that means for Volcanics?
No new Volcanics.
Life really is suffering sometimes, isn't it?
It is a bad existence to be a Volcanic player. I say player because there's only one.
Yeah. Pain 96 lives on in our hearts. As Heartburn.
Yeah, other than that, there's not much else
Yeah,
to talk about in Duel Links. Like, they've hit 5 billion duels.
Yeah, and we got 500 gems for it. Okay, whatever, I'll
And
take
it's a
that.
crappy card, like, ticket.
They don't give us good cards for anything anymore. Like, even all the... We got Shark recently, and all of his level up rewards, save for one, suck absolute fucking ass. Big fucking Jaws? Are you out of your fucking mind? It's a level 3 that banishes itself when it attacks. Are you... Who made this? Can I stop them?
The mastermind behind, like, Duel Links level up rewards is a man who's, like, operating on a level I've never seen in my life.
He's the guy who designed Tainted Wisdom, I guarantee you.
Just punishes us with this.
It's disgraceful. But real quick, the Shark event happened and was a thing, and there was a tag duel tournament which happened and was lame. There's now the KC Cup, which I fucking hate PvP in this game because it's all obnoxious trap based. It's like, oh, I have Karma Cut. Fuck you, idiot. But I do want to just real quick, lightning quick, before we like kill ourselves and never do this again. I want to talk about the 3 semi-recent boxes.
Yeah.
So the first one introduced some basic ass bitch, Ixie's archetype, Tellar Knights, which only have... Yeah, they've only got one of their Ixies monsters, so they can't
play the game.
They can't even like, yeah, they can't summon shit, especially since their best cards, Altair and Skybridge, both lock them to Tellar Knights. So it's just, why did you even put this in here? Like, most of their big guys that aren't banned need three fucking monsters, which is ludicrous. And they couldn't even be asked to give us the really good Tellar Knight Ixies Triver.
I think would it have been too good to put it in this early?
It might have been.
Because like the other competition for Ixies wasn't exactly fantastic. Like Onomat is good. Like I definitely would recommend like buying that structure deck.
Yeah, I do like. I wish they would. Sorry.
No, it's fine. And I was concerned like they were missing some more stuff, but like in the Shark box they released the Go-Go-Go's, so.
Yeah, I like the recent box, the Shark box, because they released a lot of decent Shark stuff, like I believe it's Saber Shark and I think Double Fin Shark, which are both very good. They released Silent Angler in that box as just a super rare too. And I really like, oh yeah, motherfucking Stratos is back, bitches. I really like this recent trend of main boxes having a bunch of just good extra deck monsters and then a handful of regular good searchers, whatever, as their URs.
It's way less obnoxious.
Yeah, because now I can just grab the main deck monsters, reset, and just keep going until eventually I get to my third thing or whatever and get the Ixies that I need. And it's nice that Hope Wolf and Dragon Spider Shark is already in the game, because I think that's unironically a good card for Shark. Mermaid Shark sucks for a fucking searcher, though. You're level goddamn 1 and you have the audacity to search things that you can't Ixies with.
I think...
What an asshole.
It's a bit rough. Like, I suppose what you can... At least the format is slow enough where you can just, like, summon it and set something like a Ballista squad.
Yeah.
There's also
Yeah, that could probably
Mirror
work.
Forces, and there's lots of like control cards. Like,
yeah, I think the thing is though that like now Sharks probably have enough tools to kind of free the Ixies, because Shark stickers from the event was actually the only good card they gave us, because Shark's level up rewards suck, and most of the rest of his like dual rewards are just fucking Makos. Like, could you not be asked to do anything better with this idiot? Remember when Mokuba came in and they actually gave us fucking Thunder Dragon cards?
that was wild.
What happened?
We came so far. He's just not Kaiba, I guess.
I know I came pretty far when I saw those cards. But
Oh god.
yeah, just I like the newest box. The mini box exists.
I have a soft spot for the mini box because I like Gear Gears.
Gear Gears are nice. And you mentioned playing around with Heraldics, and it's nice that they're...
Yeah, no, I think they'll have some time to shine, considering they are quite anti-XEs.
Yeah, I think part of their issue is though they might be a bit too specific, but I like how compact and kind of consistent they are. They've got a lot of decent recovery and like starters to get into the game, which is nice to see.
Oh yeah.
So it is very good to see that they're definitely getting their due
and
in Duel Links.
Even if you don't get the most out of their XEs like effects, the monsters are still big enough to get over other things.
Yeah.
So it's not
they also
too bad.
Yeah, they also don't lock you to Heraldics. They lock you to Psychic or Machines, which is a lot more flexible and is going to be a lot more useful in the future, I think.
Yeah, going forward it'll be pretty good.
Yeah, they could make Time Thieves actually. Shit.
I don't know if Time Thieves would be too good for Duel Links.
I think Redoer would actually, because like well, you know, it would depend on if we get Brigandine.
Yeah, I think stealing from your opponent's deck might be just a bit too much.
Yeah, that is true. So it might be a while if we ever see those lads. But yeah, I think that's the current state of things in Duel Links, and most of the stuff across the fucking card game, unless something happened in the last like
20 seconds.
hour or
I
so
think
while
we've
we
been talking
were-
for 2 hours. I
Yeah.
think we're safe.
Yeah. I mean, I never play it safe. I play fucking Adamanticators, but yeah, I think that's it.
Oh,
boys and girls.
the Battle City box reveal, but we can talk about that another day.
I mean, is there much to talk about? It's just like a bunch of like Yugi Boomer cards.
Oh, there's some nice
more
reprints like pre-prep.
Yeah, it's. I honestly, I might get one just for novelty to just like fuck around with a friend, because it's the nice thing about it is that it actually looks like it has a bunch of like kind of pre-built little decks in it,
Yeah.
and pretty much all the bonus secret rares that they promise are just all in the pre-built decks anyways, so it really doesn't fucking matter. Just if you really feel like it, pick one up, play around with it with your friends. Doesn't fucking matter. As long as you're having fun and you're being economically sound, it doesn't matter what you do.
It don't matter. None of this matters.
Now what happens? I will never give up.